NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour will crown the 2024 champion. And what a battle, what a season we have had all year long. 3 drivers contesting for that title: Justin Bonsignor, Ron Silk, and Patrick Emmerling. It's bound to be an outstanding day today. We're thankful that you were here with us here early this morning. So we have some news to share with you today. And what do you say we get right to it? I want to welcome to my immediate left Joey Denowitz, Managing Director of NASCAR Regional, Peter Teasy in the middle, who is the General Manager of Motorsports at Whelen Engineering, and Jimmy Wilson, Senior Director for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. We'll start things off with Joey.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks to the media for being here, the teams, the drivers, and the fans watching at NASCAR.com, and Clay and his staff here at Martinsville. It is my honor to announce that NASCAR and Whelen Engineering have agreed to an entitlement extension for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour through the 2029 season with an increased investment. The entitlement extension will see the largest purse increase for the tour in over a decade. The full field will benefit from this Whelen extension. Each entry is guaranteed a minimum of $2,000 to start a tour race. Race winners will get a minimum of $11,000. Race positions. Furthermore, the Whelen Championship prize pool has increased 250%, paying back 20 positions. Thanks to Whelen's investment, this payout makes the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour the most lucrative modified option for teams.
Thank you, Joey. What an exciting day for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, something that we'll be able to say for several more years to come. Peter, Whelen Engineering has been part of the Whelen Modified Tour for 20 years, and it's going to continue now for several more into the future. How important was it for you, for Whelen Engineering, to renew the partnership and provide an increased investment to the sport and to the teams?
First of all, thank you to all the teams that are here today. Without you, there would not be a NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, and we certainly appreciate you all here. So let's go back to 2005. The late Phil Kurz had a vision. He grew up being a big race fan, and he brought the idea to Whelen, and that's how it all started in 2005. And every week I always think of Phil, and whatever we're doing in the racing world, like, would Phil approve of it? And we've kept that going. And this is our 20th year of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, and we're excited to go another 5 years to bring us to 25 years in the Modified Tour. So that's really important to Whelen. I got to look at my notes because I'm not perfect here. So with 25 years, one of the biggest things we started with NASCAR and Jimmy and Joey, and we need to put more into the Modified Tour. We need to make the Modified Tour as healthy as we can. Not that it's not healthy now, but the bigger investment was really important to Whelen and NASCAR, and you'll see that, as Joey said, 250% to the championship prize fund. That's a huge difference from where we're at. Would we like to make it 500%? We would. But again, we're a business, and I think we're really pleased with where we're at here. And this will further establish the Whelen Modified Tour, or NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, as the premier modified tour, not just for racers, but fans as well. And we're excited to what's gonna take place the next 5 years.
Thank you, Peter. Jimmy, you have the benefit of being able to work directly with the series competitors, the drivers, the owners, and the rest. And an extended partnership with Whelen certainly provides a lot of benefits along the way. Where do you see the biggest opportunity, the biggest benefits that come out of this now extended and continued relationship with Whelen?
Well, first and foremost, thank you, Peter, and everyone at Whelen for what you've done and the vision and where we are today and what's taking place for the competitors. Without the competitors, we don't have a series. We don't have the benefits of all that. So it's really great to see the investment going back with the competitors. At the end of the day, when you're looking at costs, what they're doing, and as much as you try to manage it, it's always great to get that influx of cash going directly to the competitors in this case. So with that, to echo what everyone has said here, it's just going to furthermore reinforce the fact of making the Whelen Modified Tour the premier modified tour in the country and the most lucrative modified tour in the country to come and run at. And that's very important with that. We have the best racing, we have the best teams, we have the best competitors, we have the best racetracks. Case in point, sitting here crowning our champion tonight at Martinsville Speedway. No one else can say that. So if you're going to run a modified, the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour is the one to come run. And with Whelan's backing here, along with NASCAR, it just furthermore solidifies that point. And to take it one step further as well, Whelen is obviously, with this investment, we also got to give a call out to our track partners as well, because our track partners have also, going into 2025, as we will get into the schedule, are stepping up as well and adding more into this where the money's going directly to the competitors as well. So the future's bright for 2025 and moving forward.
Thank you. Each of you look at this partnership from a lot of different angles based on your roles with NASCAR and on the Whelen side. Joey, start with you. What does this partnership with Whelen mean to you? And I'll just allow you to each put your perspective on that.
I think to me this just meant listening. When we met with Whelen to talk about renewal, they wanted to talk about the Whelen Modified Tour and how they could help. So then it just became Jimmy and I and the folks from NASCAR focusing on understanding what would be the best way to do that for Whelen. I think I'm thrilled to have a partner in Whelen as committed to the community and the modified series as NASCAR is. I think that's the biggest piece of it. Our broadcast reach is on the rise. Our content numbers continue to grow. And this is a monumental injection of energy into the series thanks to Whelen.
Peter, your thoughts on the partnership from the sponsorship standpoint?
So Whelen, as I said, 2005 is when it all started. And not only the Modified Tour, but we also upped our official partnership with NASCAR as the official warning lights. And I'm sure most of you know we sponsor an Xfinity Series car. We're involved with IMSA. We're involved with Mazda. So anything that we do on the track, Whelen and Jeff Marsh, our CEO, and Sonny Whelen, our owner, we love racing. And we think it's great for our exposure. I mean, our new motto that's rolling out is trusted to protect first responders. And that's a big deal to us because that's what we do. And lots of people at the track, whether they're on crews or the fans or the track workers, they're all first responders. So it just fits well within our business model to be part of any racing.
Jimmy, you spoke a little bit about the competitors, the drivers, and the tracks to an extent, but your interface with Whelen, that partnership, what does that mean to you and your role as a series director?
Well, first and foremost, the relationship with Whelen, point blank, I'd call them friends, which goes a long ways, going back to Phil Kurz. I had the pleasure of first meeting Phil Kurz back in 2006. And a gentleman that just absolutely loved racing, and you see that, and that's why we're where we are here today. And with Peter involved, and everyone with the company, we go up there for plant tours and things like that, and to see what the folks at Whelen do and how they make the products, and just the level of pride that all of their employees put into these products when you go up there, it's second to none. And, Peter comes into the garage area, you always watch him. He gets around to all the teams and sees everyone. And, if there's anything that they can do to help out, they're doing it. We ran into a situation at New Hampshire several years ago. A team needed to change an engine. And Peter happened to be there in an earshot. We couldn't find an engine hoist. And he's making phone calls over to the Xfinity garage trying to make that connection. And you just don't see that a lot of times with folks, but that's where they are and how intimately involved they are with the Whelen Modified Tour, and wanting to take care of our competitors and fans. So you just can't put a price tag on that.
And I just want to be clear here: I'm not Phil Kurz, and I'll never be like Phil because Phil was very special. I mean, I'm a little more shy than Phil. I mean, Phil would go up to every single person. But as I said, I think of Phil every day. I walk by his headstone probably once a month when I go for a walk, and it's important to us what would Phil think. And this relationship is what Phil would think was best.
As we said to start, we have a champion to crown tonight, but 2025 right on the doorstep and on the horizon. Joey, what are you most excited about as we roll forward into 2025? We wrap up the season today, but looking ahead into next year, what are you most excited about and looking forward to as we start the new season, beginning tomorrow, I suppose?
Thanks, Joe. I think I'm most excited about the drivers and teams that will come and challenge Ron Silk and Justin Bonsignor, who might be two of the best modified drivers we've ever seen, race for a championship. You've got two guys that have never been further than 15 points apart in a season-long championship, and they literally battle every single weekend. The only thing I can think of in 2025 with news like this is who else can compete with those guys with this prestige and this platform, and thanks to Whelen, this money.
Peter, thoughts on 25?
New Smyrna, to kick off the season and the whole entire year. I mean, until everyone kind of sees the championship, how it's going to pay out and everything, I mean, it's going to be great. I mean, the teams deserve, I think we've been in the same level for the past at least 10 years. So this increase was needed, and I'm just excited to, I want to get through today. Today's going to be the greatest day. I mean, having two different divisions here that are totally different, low horsepower. I don't want to say whiny because I love the Mazdas, and then you have the modifieds, tons of horsepower, and nothing sounds better than a NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour car. So I'm excited. I'll start today, not 2025.
All right, I'm right there with you. Jimmy, as we look ahead, 2025 has a lot of excitement ahead for the Whelen Modified Tour. What are your thoughts on the new season?
I think with the 2025 schedule, everyone's going to be really proud of what we've got and what we're going to roll out here. Much like these guys, got to put a period on 2024 first, but I think 2025 is going to bring back yet a lot of strong competition. It's going to get hopefully some new faces looking at the series to come in and get some new strong teams in here. To Joey's point, to give the 51 and the 16 a little bit of run, but we also need to mention that one car as well that's right there that's definitely in contention again for this thing tonight. We really have a three-way battle going into this thing tonight, so it's going to be interesting and to see what it looks like when we get back here October the 18th of 2025, and we're looking to crown a 2025 champion and see what that looks like.
Speaking of that, what does the rest of 2025 look like?
So the 2025 schedule will be yet another 16-race schedule. We will open up on Saturday night, February the 8th at Martinsville Speedway. Probably some of the highlights to look at. The North Wilkesboro date is going to be on Sunday, May the 18th, as a combination with the NASCAR Cup Series at North Wilkesboro Speedway with the All-Star event. So that's something that's really going to be neat for the series. To be there, of course, is what's already been rolled out, the support event at New Hampshire Motor Speedway with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on Saturday, September the 20th. Another highlight, National Series combo will be at Richmond Raceway. We will be there in late summer, and of course, we've got our traditional dates at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, and a track that has not been on the schedule since 2020 when they stepped up during the pandemic and helped us to try to get events in. Going back to White Mountain Motorsports Park up in New Hampshire on Saturday night, June the 28th. So a pretty neat schedule, pretty diverse. I'm really proud of how we were able to get the schedule to come together. Joey and I were talking about this before coming in here. This series, most of our competitors come out of the Northeast, so we try to be very sensitive in scheduling events and, keeping in mind that these folks have full-time jobs and you've got travel days and holidays and everything. So we really try to be very sensitive and put a lot of thought into that. And when you look at the schedule completely, you'll notice that the travel dates are spread out pretty evenly, quarterly, if you will, if you look at it, with starting out at New Smyrna Speedway, Then the next long distance race, you're going to North Wilkesboro on May the 18th, Richmond later in the summer, then coming here to Martinsville to conclude the season. So hopefully that will once again work out very well for the teams and those with their full-time jobs. And, you know, the facilities we're going to, you know, historic, fast, competitive, you know, second to none. I think it's a schedule everyone can be proud of.
All right, well, thank you. There's a lot to look forward, not only tonight, but also in 2025, and we're excited about it. So, Joey, Peter, Jimmy, we thank you for your time here this morning and your announcements. For everybody watching online today, we remind you that tonight you can join us on Flow Racing at 8 p.m. for the championship finale for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. We will crown that champion between Justin Bonsignor, Ron Silk, or Patrick Emmerling. We will see you then, 8 o'clock tonight on Flow Sports. For everybody else who's here